Hey, folks, I'm sitting here in my reading spot. I decided to look at some stuff, and what I'm looking at is what the Supreme Court is reading right now. Election laws are written by the state. So I was looking at Pennsylvania law, and apparently there's nowhere in there that makes a allowance for a mail-in ballot. There is an absentee ballot, and the rules for the absentee ballot are very strict. Like you have to be out of town. You have to be not able, not physically able to make it to the polling place. So the legislature, which is in charge of making laws in Pennsylvania, apparently never authorized mail-in ballots, just willy-nilly, mail it out to everybody that's registered. The legislature never authorized it, and the governor cannot make law by himself. So the Supreme Court justices right now are going state by state. They know it's going to wind up in front of them. They're reading each state's law. And Michigan, for instance, Michigan, the legislature, the election commission can't just change the law on their own. Legislature never authorized willy-nilly mail-in ballots. They have an absentee ballot, but they didn't authorize that. And in Wisconsin, they did do it, but each of those mail-in ballots had to be signed with the address of the voter, and it had to be signed an address of a witness to the vote. So their mail-in ballots had to have a signature of a witness and a signature of the voter. And to top it off, some of the election commissions were telling people to sign at the election office, to sign for the witness. So those ballots are all spoiled. Also, seeing is that the mail-in ballots were never passed by their state legislature, all the laws in each individual state will apply to time of closing. So anything that went in after the polls closed, anything received after the polls closed, must be thrown out. Even if they allow the mail-in ballots, not the absentee ballots, but the mail-in ballots will have to be received by the time the polls close. Now, personally, it seems logical to me. Now, I may be an idiot, but I went out. We had early voting. All those states had early voting. I went to the poll. I did mine in person. I do it every time in person. I just like years in past. They had the plastic sheets set up and the mask rules and all that stuff. So they're not going to be able to use COVID as a excuse. So, folks, that fat blue-haired lady ain't sung yet. If he gets Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania in front of the Supreme Court. Now, I haven't looked up Georgia, but I encourage everybody to forget about the news. Go look at each individual state's law, because that's what's going to decide it. The law of that state. The election commissions and the governors don't get to make law. Any law change has to go through the legislature. Each state has a legislature, and some of those states never even made laws for these mail-in ballots like they're doing it. The law was never passed. So the whole stupid thing's liable to be thrown out. State law, you Democrats thought you was going to take a shortcut, and I don't think it's going to work.